with this pitching staff, obviously there's two of you guys that are pretty well established, but after that, what have you seen? Are there enough quality arms here?
I think everyone on the team, every pitcher I've seen so far has definitely shown something they can bring to the table. And whether it's someone who comes in for one batter, one inning, multiple innings, I think we're going to be pretty deep, not only in our rotation, but into the bullpen as well.
How big a difference, I mean, Coach, you mentioned you pitching on some big stages, and some of these guys, the younger guys, haven't done that. How big a concern or question is that?
At least for me, I never tried to think of who was watching or how big the game. Obviously, you know how big the game is, but you never try to make it like that. You just do what you do best, go out there every time, and I think a lot of the guys are going to be able to handle that. They show that they know what they can do, and that's what they do.
Mark, you really kind of went out and made a name for yourself in the ACC tournament last year, and I guess expectations are high, both externally and you have high expectations for yourself. Can you talk about just going into the season what you expect to be able to accomplish?
Yeah, I mean, if I have another year like I did last year, I mean, that's what I'm going in and trying to do. I had great talent around me last year, which definitely helps in the lineup, knowing that if you pitch around Pinder, Rash, or Duran, then there'll be people on base, and it makes it easier for me or the guy so-and-so. But I think we have a lot of the pieces back from last year that will definitely help in the lineup, which will definitely give me success to keep the success I've had so far.
Can this team be Mark? Can this team be an NCAA regional team again?
Yeah, without a doubt, I think so. I think we definitely have more speed 1 through 9 in our lineup this year than last year. We definitely lose power. Fielding-wise, I think we have definitely the potential to be better. And the two guys I'm with are definitely going to carry the team with pitching. And I think Kid Sheets, Aaron McGarity, younger guys that have proved themselves in the fall and early in the spring, which I think will help us pitching-wise. So I think as long as we do what we can do, I think we have a shot of having a year like we did last year.
Tanner, speaking of pitching, I mean, I guess they'd like to be able to rely on you heavily this year. How do you feel? How's the arm feel, and what do you expect to accomplish?
I mean, it feels good right now. For me, it's just great to be back on the field. I mean, it's been 9 months since I've thrown live, so just getting back out on the field with these guys and being able to play catch with him, it's just great being out on the field again. And then on top of that, we have, like Brad was saying, we have a lot of guys out who I feel they may be young, but you never know what happens when someone gets underneath the lights. They can show all they want at practice and do all these great things, but when those lights come on, people can surprise you.
Do you feel the same way about yourself, because it's been the long laugh that even though things are going well in practice, until you pitch a game, you're not really going to know?
I mean, I try to work hard as much as possible in practice and do as much as possible in practice to get me prepared for those games, so it's easier for me to pitch in those games. But I'm a firm believer in it. When the lights come on, that there's another level that people can hit. So.
How anxious are you for I know you're happy to be back out there, but for a real game to get the ball when it counts?
I mean, I'm really anxious. Like I said, I've been out for 9 months, and I was glad to be a part of it. It was one of the greatest experiences of my life last year, and I wasn't even playing. And I would have loved to have been on the field with those guys, but just experience alone, it was awesome. And now it's just a great feeling to be able to be part of it and be on the field and help them accomplish what we're trying to do.
Can you talk about the freshmen on this team, Mark? I mean, I talk to Coach, every couple of weeks, and he's really impressed with the talent. But just from a player's perspective, what do you see from the young guys that you think will enable them to really contribute?
I think a lot of the freshmen have done a great job. I think they all work hard. They all listen to what the coaches and the upperclassmen say to them. I think we have a lot of infielders in the future who will help us definitely, and definitely pitching staff as well. There's definitely going to be a couple freshmen that have to contribute this year, and there's definitely some candidates in the running who have proved themselves and are going to get a good shot of playing for us this year. And I think they deserve it, and I think they can fill the shoes of some of the players that we lost. Obviously, it's going to be tough to replace a Chad Pinder and a Rash, but if they bring something different to the table, I think it can help us in different ways. Maybe a little bit more speed, maybe a little bit better defensively, and I think that's how we're going to have to approach this season. I think they've all bought into what coaches taught them and the upperclassmen, and I think they're definitely going to help us.
Brad, to go from playing an NCAA regional and playing an ACC championship game to now being picked to finish near the bottom of the division, I mean, what's that experience like, and how does that kind of fuel you, I guess?
It'll just make it more sweet when we prove everyone wrong. And they gave up on us, so when we're out there playing for the championship with ACC, another regional, hopefully a super regional beyond that, then it'll just prove to everyone that they shouldn't sleep on us.
I don't think we've had a chance to really ask you much about this, but Coach Hughes leaving, what was kind of your reaction? Because obviously brought you here and all that.
To be honest, I didn't know anything about it leading up to it, and obviously it's a great opportunity for him, and he has to do what he has to do, but it's not going to stop us in any way. We're still working hard. He's still working hard over there, but maybe one day we'll meet at some game, but if that happens, then I love him to death, but we're going to have to beat him up a little bit. But I know all the guys were sad to see him go, but we had a great coaching staff take over, and everyone's doing their part, and we're doing something a little bit differently, but we're definitely going for the same goal and a little beyond that.
How much has changed with Pat taking over, Coach Mason taking over?
We're all about detail. Obviously, every team's going to be about detail, but we're striving for perfection. And a little quote: when you're chasing perfection, you're going to achieve excellence, and that's exactly what we're trying to go for.
Mark, what have you seen kind of change in the program with the change at coach?
I think Coach Mason and Coach Hughes, both, you can go to the ballpark and have a good time with them and joke around with them a little bit, but Coach Mason, he's a lot of fun to play for. So is Coach Hughes, and he makes you have fun at the ballpark and not overthink the game and just play loose and have fun. And you can go up and joke around with them in a serious way, and I think that itself is a little bit different than last year. And I think pitching coach that he brought in, he's doing a great job. He's really worked great with the pitchers and with me catching wise, and also Gabe Ortiz, who's the volunteer coach. It's cool for him to be back. I played with him freshman year, and he knows a lot about baseball. He's teaching the younger kids everything he knows, and it's just fun to go out there because you can joke around in a serious way and just have a good time and relax and just play the game that we all love.